Dominica and the European Union chart the way forward for development. PDV Caribe hosts a health fair and a road network to be improved in the Soufriere constituency. Thank you for joining us on another edition of National Focus. I'm Mervin.
And I'm Jarna Hector. Stay with us for details of these stories and others after the break.
You're watching GIS.
Thank you for staying with us. The Commonwealth of Dominica and the European Union are continuing their partnership for development. The two held a country portfolio review meeting on Monday to review projects being undertaken in Dominica, as well as to decide on new projects for the upcoming years. Mark Phil is the head of operations of the EU delegation to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean.
We are meeting with all our colleagues here in the government and also with my colleagues from the EU office. We are going to review our progress, what we have done over the years, but at the same time we will also look at our obstacles and our challenges ahead and to find solutions for those. We have budget support programs, we have normal projects on the B envelope for reconstruction, we have water supply projects, we have the banana accompanying measures programs, the BAM, and we are also supporting the non-state actor panel. It is a very multifaceted program that we have over the years, and there is also more to come, for example, as the new 11th EDF program, which will be in energy.
The head of operations says over the past 5 years, the EU has given up to 50 million euros in support of projects in Dominica. He looks forward to the continued partnership between Dominica and the European Union.
We view Dominica as one of our main partners in the region. I think our relationship was excellent. The relationship with the government, with the NEO's office is I find very regular, it's very constructive, and we are looking forward to keep this relationship in the future.
Also present at the meeting was the Honourable Minister for Planning, Economic Development and Investment, Dr. John Colin McIntyre, Financial Secretary Rosamond Edwards, and heads of departments of various technical ministries, including Trade, Agriculture, Public Works, Ports, Tourism, Housing and Finance. Clearly, Jarna, the European Union has been a vital partner to Dominica and Dominica's development over the years. For example, the Dominica Social Investment Fund, $11.9 million spent in 2002 and on 53 projects. The Grotto Home, for example, the EU provided funding for equipment to the Grotto Home. The Young Offenders Recovery Skills Program at the Dominica State Prison was also funded, and also the House of Hope in Dalis. I'm sure that you know quite a few of the other projects funded by the European Union.
Yes, I do know some, and it's quite interesting how diverse those projects are, because I'm aware of the Tourism Sector Development Program, a $5.1 million fund that has seen the development of l'escalate Chia in Sineku, the Layu Beach and Indian River Tourism Reception Centers, and that's not the only contribution to tourism, but that is part of the Tourism Sector Development Program, which is just one fund of the EU for Dominica. And of course, we can't forget the contribution of the EU to Dominica's geothermal development project. That is a big thing. And as you know, that as you said it quite well. That's a great thing. Yeah. That's what's at the end of the day, it's our contribution to energy independence for Dominica, and also to assist our neighboring French islands. So there's no doubt that the EU has contributed significantly to our development and continues to do so. Especially in the area of water development. I remember one time going on a tour with some water sector management officials, and the European Union was represented by the National Authorizing Officer, because the EU fund is playing a big part in the development of the West Coast Water Supply Project, which is providing water to all the communities between Grand Savan and Capuchin. So there are funds and there are projects, and all of them are equally huge.
Okay.
Moving on, the road network in the Soufriere constituency is to receive a facelift. The Honorable Parliamentary Representative for the Soufriere constituency, Ian Pinard, who is also the Minister for Public Works, announced on Wednesday that residents can look forward to the commencement of road rehabilitation.
Most of the visitors coming into Soufriere and Scott said will see that our road network has improved and will continue to improve within the communities. And I know we have given the community up in the housing scheme area in Soufriere $77,000 to the village council, and very soon that project will start up in housing scheme. And I can tell you that the roads within housing scheme, the roads within Source, the roads within Backstreet, all this will commence very soon, and very soon we will have all of our roads paved in the community of Soufriere. In Scott said, we're up in Savan where we have some of the roads that are challenged, and very soon we'll have those roads. We have, in fact, I've gotten the estimates, and very soon we'll have the roads. We won't have it done all at once, but we'll make sure that these roads are done over the next 5 years.
In more news, an opening ceremony in the Northern District of Portsmouth on Monday marked the first phase of an island-wide initiative by the Ministry of Commerce, Enterprise and Small Business to boost the small business sector. Stakeholders in the North will participate in a three-day training program which began today, Monday. Addressing Monday's ceremony was the Honorable Minister for Commerce, Enterprise and Small Business Development, Rosalind Paul.
We in the business of enterprise development have a collective responsibility to ensure that investments made will reap results and that we should all be committed to succeed. The investments we made, they need to be nurtured. They need not to be wasted. They need to really reach the desired result, the desired goal, so that we can all succeed. So we should see this training as a building block to a successful small business. Indeed, we have seen those with adequate finance, you may have money, but who end up with a failed business. Often we would say, écoulé. Just as we've seen quite a few who started from humble beginnings, but thrived to success.
Participants will undergo training in quality customer service, successful management of small businesses, effective speech preparation and delivery of small businesses, business ethics and prudent cash management, among other areas. Executive Director of the Ministry of Commerce, Enterprise and Small Business Development, Alexander Stevenson, highlighted the objectives of the training program.
Our objectives in Phase 1 are to ensure small business owners are exposed to appropriate knowledge and skills, to enhance the ability of small business clients to better manage their businesses, create opportunities for networking and harmonizing best practices for efficient businesses.
The Honourable Member of Parliament for the Portsmouth constituency, Ian Douglas, says government has already begun taking measures to assure the development of the sector. He says it is up to stakeholders to take the initiatives seriously and be disciplined.
If you don't have the funding, even if you have a great idea, you cannot succeed. Even if you have the funding and you have the great idea, but you do not have discipline and tenacity and stick-to-itiveness and focus on your business, you do not have a plan. There is a great saying that he who does not plan has already planned to fail. If you do not have a business plan, then forget about business. Because everything must be written down. You must write so that you keep records. You have records and you know where your business is going. You can look back 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, and say, okay, I have invested X amount. This is what I have expended on my business. This is my markup. This is my profit. This is what I expect 2 years, 5 years, 10 years from now. Without a plan, you will fail. That's why most businesses fail, not because they didn't have a good business plan, but because they didn't have the discipline and the focus which it took.
Also addressing Monday's ceremony was the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Commerce, Esther Thomas. She says her ministry is committed to the success of the participants.
This is not the end of seeing us here today. This is the beginning. Don't forget, you have now committed to be partners with us in small business development. At the ministry, we cannot achieve it. We can achieve it with you. And so you have begun a partnership with us. We look forward to a very successful partnership, and we are ensuring you that we will give all the energy and effort to ensure that you become a successful enterprise. You are able to then be providing adequate products, services of a high quality, of an excellent nature.
You're watching National Focus. Still to come, PDV Caribe focuses on healthcare for Grand Forks residents. Stay with us.
Did you know the Caribbean Court of Justice is 2 courts in 1? The CCJ has 2 functions: an original jurisdiction, which deals with your right to move between CARICOM countries freely and your right to move your money and your business. This is the basis of the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, CSME, and the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, and an appellate jurisdiction to hear appeals from courts of those countries which decide to use it as their final court of appeal and no longer go to the Privy Council. All CARICOM member states who have signed the agreement establishing the CCJ are members of the CCJ.
Thanks for staying with us. The Honourable Parliamentary Representative for the Soufriere constituency is hailing the efforts of the Labour Party government to address the needs of his constituents. He says to date, the government has fulfilled up to 99% of its commitments to the residents.
Our community, in terms of what we wanted within the community of Soufriere, Scottsdale and Gallio, when we came to the government and requested our city fence wall, and then we came to the government and requested a gas station for our fishermen, and we came to the government with issues of water, and we came in terms of roads, and I can tell you that this Labour Party government have addressed almost 99% of these problems that we've had. We've had the new Soufriere Scottsdale Boulevard, we've had the new water tank, and we also have the gas station. So we're now working on the orders, which are the village roads within the community.
Honourable Pinard was speaking at the 17th inaugural meeting of the Soufriere Scottsdale Gallio Village Council last Wednesday.
A team of medical practitioners are helping to improve the health of the residents of Grand Forks along with PDV Caribe Dominica Ltd. PDV Caribe Dominica Ltd. Collaborated with the Cuban medical practitioners to bring healthcare services to the residents over the weekend. The first of 4 health visits is part of activities for celebrations of the 10th anniversary of the signing of the PDV Caribe agreement.
We have with us the Cuban doctors who came on board with us. We have our Cuban ambassador is also here with us today. We have on board, we have the surgeons, we have general practitioners, we have a gastroenterologist, we have pediatricians, as well as Dr. Samuel Christian, here with us today, as well as Dr. Bennett Henry out of Optifam.
The Honourable Parliamentary Representative for the Grand Forks constituency, Ivor Stevenson, welcomed the kind gesture.
In Grand Forks, what they're going to be doing is to provide general health examinations to identify some of the problems that exist in health, such as diabetes, hypertension, and other persons who have problems with the eyes. So the persons who have the specialist in eye care will ensure that the proper eye care or eye examinations are done, so that persons who may require glasses, they can get this basic information to continue to ensure at least they have improved eye care services. This collaboration, I think, is very welcome for the people of Grand Forks. And we are seeing that the persons have really turned up in very large numbers. And you can see that the people of Grand Forks are very, very appreciative of the services that are being provided here.
The Grand Forks MP looks forward to the continued partnership with the 2 countries to bring these healthcare services to other parts of the island. We know that it's not only in the Grand Forks constituency that this is being done, that it will be done also in Vickers and other areas, I think Roseau. But this in itself is a very, very good initiative, and you can see by the numbers of persons who have been here today that it's a very welcome initiative. So I would like, on behalf of the community, as parliamentary representative, to thank the Venezuelan embassy through PDV Caribe and also the Cuban embassy for this effort, and we are looking forward to that continued collaboration. So far, activities have included visits by preschools, primary schools, as well as trips with Dominica State College students to projects funded by PDV Caribe. In 2005, the world witnessed the birth of the PDV Caribe as an energy cooperation agreement signed by 14 countries, including Dominica. To date, 18 countries are part of that initiative.
The Division of Culture has released a mini documentary on the making of craft products from the screw pine plant. The video, entitled Screw Pine, details the process of preparing the screw pine leaves and the making of typical craft items such as hats, belts, table mats, handbags, letter holders, and fans. The production was coordinated by Cultural Officer Carlton Henry, who says the documentary is intended to highlight the dying skill of screw pine crafting.
The Division of Culture is charged with the responsibility of documenting traditions that we have in Dominica, especially those dying traditions which we would not just want to eradicate from the face of the earth. We would really want our young persons growing up to really get an opportunity to see the way that their foreparents lived and what they had to accomplish or what they had to do to actually survive and have a living in Dominica. So that was one of the main reasons, I should say, for doing the mini documentary on the screw pine craft.
The cultural officer believes that the screw pine craft industry is one that can be revitalized in Dominica.
It's an industry that can make a comeback in Dominica. First, that mini documentary will give people the opportunity to see what it was and what the importance of it and how easy it can be done, the process can be done. So then people might say, hey, instead of probably going to kill myself and build something, hey, why don't I get involved in the screw pine industry? Because the basic thing is just get in the plant, cut it, put it to dry and boil it, put it to dry, then shred it and just platin, and then if I can sew or use a machine, just put something together. Or if there are some items that you can do for use of your hands. You don't even need a sewing machine to get it done. So I think it's the know-how of getting the thing done, just how to prepare the plant-based material and then just putting it together to make the craft. It's a very easy process.
The division fully intends to feature the craft on its list of programs.
We haven't had it on our program before for teaching young people to do hats or anything, but I believe after that screw pine documentary hit the airwaves, people might have an interest, and why not? If there's a need for getting a class in screw pine production, we will definitely do it, because we're all about preservation of our traditional art forms which we learned from our forefathers. We will definitely take up that opportunity.
The cultural officer says the tourism industry is an area which can benefit from the screw pine craft.
If I was a tourist, I would want to take something back and say, hey, I saw how this lady prepared this hat, or I saw the process of getting that done. So something that I was part of, or I get the opportunity to see of, I would want to have an end product of it.
Screw pine is part of a series of videos produced by the division on various aspects of Dominican culture. This video will be published on YouTube and Facebook. The documentary can also be viewed on the division's official website, divisionofculture.gov.dm.
Parishioners of the communities of Savonpai, Tukari and Cottage came together on Sunday, June 14, to celebrate the Feast of St. Anthony at the Tukari Chapel. His Excellency President of Dominica Charles Soufriere and Mrs. Soufriere, Honorable Speaker of the House of Assembly Alex Boyd Knight, Honorable Acting Prime Minister Reginald Austria and other members of Cabinet joined in the celebration. St. Anthony of Padua is one of the Catholic Church's most popular saints. He is typically portrayed holding the child Jesus or a lily or a book or all three in his arms. He was a powerful Franciscan preacher and teacher and is the patron saint of lost and stolen articles. Father Herman Sharpless was the main celebrant.
We are called to trust God. We are called to be humble. We are called to understand that whatever God has given us in this life as a blessing, it's not for us. And we are called to serve with humility. The world has enough teachers. The world has enough teaching experience and methods right in our present time to show us when God blesses people, he raises them and the blessing becomes mighty in the world. But when man begins to believe that it's all because of me, and it's me, and it's me, God brings them down, and they become nothing.
Coming up next, your tip of the day.
Think water, think life. Water refreshes, restores, cleans, and enhances growth. Potable water is a benchmark for development. DOWASCO is serious about its mandate to ensure easy access to potable water island-wide and provide sewage services for a cleaner environment. DOWASCO is your water and sewage company.
Two ways to change your life in 10 minutes or less. 1. Wipe down your office doorknob. Using disinfectant wipes on commonly touched objects like doorknobs can reduce the spread of cold and flu-causing viruses by up to 90%, according to researchers from the University of Arizona.
2. Eat sardines twice a week. They are packed with protein and omega-3s and most worthy of a place on your plate. Your heart will thank you. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website at news.gov.dm.
Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News Desk, I'm Jarna Hector.
And I'm Mervin. Thanks for watching, and join us again next time on National Focus.